Hello YouTube. Hi, welcome back. Today we are watching Jet Engine Swing from ididathing. He says it's the scariest thing he's ever made. Okay, so if you'd like to see more content like this, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But we're gonna jump straight into it. If somebody in my Twitch chat would like to let me know if audio needs fixed, I am going to crank it to start. But please let me know if it needs balance, okay? Okay, let's just go.
You ever seen the Space Shuttle Challenger launch? It was sick and successfully launched 7 astronauts into the sky. And I want to do that with a jet engine on a swing. But I don't have enough space to do all the big dumb projects I want to do.
What in the fuck?
Until now.
Something I've grown to appreciate from ididathing is his Looney Tune ass fucking openings. Like, what is this?
And I bought my dream house and even paid extra to get
That looks like he's cooking in that RV, man.
a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and high ceilings.
How? Whoa, damn. That RV is, short as balls.
Look at all this space. It's such a liberating feeling being able to chuck a rock anywhere you want. Where the only thing I have to worry about hitting is an endangered bird. I own that tree, and that tree, and that tree, this log, and even this poo.
Oh no, oh, why are you touching it with your bare hands, my guy? Ugh.
This 100 acres of pristine Aussie
Aw,
is filled with
kangaroos.
beautiful animals and plants, and also has more than enough room for a jet engine on a swing. Which might just burn the whole place down.
My brother in Christ, what?
So despite what people say, making a jet engine is actually pretty easy. See this jar with a hole in the top? It's not only a flashlight, but a jet engine. Don't believe me? Watch.
Wait, pause. It's not only a what? Can we backtrack?
Only a flashlight. Making a jet engine is actually pretty easy. See this jar with a hole in the top? It's not only a flashlight, but a jet
Who's got a pencil dick skinny enough to fit in that hole for that to be a flashlight, my guy? What the fuck?
engine. Don't believe me? Watch.
Why?
Yeah.
My guy does not value them toes at all. Flaming glass ever. Can you imagine stepping on a flaming shard of glass in your own garage? That's crazy.
Alright, you're just gonna have to believe me. And that's the simplest version, and then the jars get more and more complicated, like this and this. But despite how much these people will try to convince you, no one actually knows how they work. And all these scientists, they're just going along with it, as they don't want to seem dumb and ask the wrong questions and lose their job. Which is why I'm not going to complicate things and get anyone fired, and just make a pulse jet, which is essentially a metal version of this broken jar. You have the combustion chamber here, which when the gas ignites, it pushes out here and here. But because the gas takes longer to come out of this section, it pulses back in or something, and the ignition
What is wrong with your toenails? You got a fungus thing? Man, they make fucking creams for that.
continues for some reason.
Ugh.
This unexplainable process gives you heaps of thrust, like enough to become a Nazi and bomb England from over 400 k's away, which is perfect for
Damn,
me.
that's
So
crazy
I'm
work.
gonna copy famous Englishman Colin Furze, as his pulse jet looks fairly simple, but I've decided to upscale my design by exactly 1% just so I can say it's bigger than his. Also, I haven't figured out the swinging part yet, I'll just work that out later. Alright, I started by cutting out this 1.6mm sheet metal, which for those following along at home is this big. But now I have to turn
Hell
this
yeah.
flat piece into a round section. And the first piece didn't go well,
That is not gonna line up.
neither did the second.
Together, please.
But after using the vise, I eventually got this, which I tacked together. Then I cut out and rolled these tailpipe sections, which was a little harder.
Bend using that. Yes. I'm on.
I'm sad he didn't show us the weld on that round piece that he formed, because I would have judged whether or not he improved on his welding. Also, dude, you're gonna fucking slice your foot open like oh god, that looks painful, bro.
But eventually I
Ugh.
got this together by using the most ratchet of straps to pull it. So after tacking it together, I need to weld everything up. And after doing a practiced weld on some scrap to make sure I don't screw it up,
Oh damn.
I'm good to go. And this was a lot of welding, and really made me realize how bad I am at following plans. I don't think I ever successfully welded a piece first go, and it was a long process of welding, then cutting my own welds, and putting them back down, and then using a hammer to persuade the pieces into place. And eventually I got these 2 pieces, and a mad welding tan.
Yeah, look at him go. He successfully welded them together.
So after I ground down one of the edges on the missile-shaped piece, I welded it to the trumpet piece. And nothing I do comes together without gaps. But the good thing about having the worst welds on the internet is that I can just fill the gaps with more ugly welds and no one expects anything less. But I'm pretty happy. The welds are mostly solid, except for here where I welded around my thumb.
Oh, why? Ooh. That looked painful. How?
And also the whole thing is slightly off center, but it shouldn't matter. Now I just need to run the fuel line. So I got this pipe and welded a bolt in the end to make it airtight, then drilled some holes to make it air loose for the gas to come out. But these aren't randomly placed holes. They are very special.
Are you sure about that randomly placed? Because they seem a little randomly placed.
Loose for the gas to come out. But these aren't randomly placed
He looks like he made a flute, dudes.
holes. They are very special. I'm hoping that if I put the holes in the same direction as the nozzle, when I crank up the gas, it will pull in the air in a phenomena called the Vitruvian Man, which will ignite and hopefully self-start and eliminate me needing a leaf blower like all these idiots. Like Colin Furs has made over 10 of these pulse jets and never made a self-igniting one, which is just embarrassing. And there you go, the pipe should be in the center of the inlet.
That's a
which
nice
it looks
background.
like it is. So it's time to give it a first go, and I'm slightly concerned that the pulse jet might just melt itself as it's only made out of mild steel. If I was a better welder, I would have made it out of stainless steel, just like this beautiful card from Revolut.
Yeah,
Revolut is an
Anti,
all-in-one
let's go.
financial super app designed to
Please
simplify
get your
money.
feet and
They've got
toes
all
away
you
from the
need in
fire.
one easy-to-use app, including this beautiful card. And together, it makes
That is a very
managing my
pretty card.
Australian dollars in the US so much simpler than building this jet engine. The best part is you can get $40 when you download Revolut and make your first purchase. And $40
That
is
was a
enough to
crazy
build
throw. Hold on.
1/10 of this jet engine. Download Revolut and make your first purchase. And $40 is enough to build 1/10.
That was a crazy throw for it to stick in the wall like that.
In minutes, and you might even decide to order yourself one of these cards. Learn more by heading to the link in the description or scan this QR code here. Now, usually when I'm using a credit card or cash to buy
fake.
stuff, I'm always annoyed that I can't use the card as a throwing star and indiscriminately maim things around me. But with
What the
Revolut,
fuck?
I can do that. I can even customize the card complete with text and emoji so people around me will know who threw the card at them. And I buy a lot of random things from all over the world. And
Oh.
it can be a bit daunting purchasing from questionable sites. And to get ahead of those
Yeah, I
potentially
wonder-
fraudulent transactions, Revolut
I
has a
wonder how many
disposable
times his
virtual
card
you
has
can set up
been
in app,
skimmed
and every
from,
time you make an online purchase with
fishy
it, the card
websites.
details disappear, meaning no one can steal your details.
Oh,
And this
never mind.
app is pretty handy for traveling. You can get competitive exchange rates for over 30 currencies, discounted airport lounge passes, and even eSIMs directly in the app.
I've
It's got it
never
all
bought
in
an
one
airport
place. No more
lounge
getting
pass. I
smashed
didn't even
at
know
the
that was a
airport with
thing,
exorbitant
actually.
fees on travel necessities. So don't forget, you can join 50 million people using Revolut worldwide and get $40 after your first purchase. Head to the link in the
Let's go.
description or scan this QR code to learn more. Alright, back to the jet engine. And after watering down the grass and chucking some weights on top, we turned on the gas.
Ow.
My welds aren't the best. I can see sunlight coming through.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna blow up.
That was weird.
And nothing happened.
Oh,
Okay, turn it off.
it says like
I'd actually prefer if nothing happened versus it just fucking blowing up and throwing shrapnel everywhere right there and then.
maybe a safety shut off.
So we removed the pesky safety valve put in by the government to throttle your Saturday night barbecuing experience and tried again.
Oh, why would you do that, bro? That's so
Just a
sketchy.
sparkler in the combustion chamber.
Yeah, it's in there. Whoa.
Ooh.
Raise it more.
More.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, turn it off.
And it's not self-starting, so we tried with a leaf blower.
That's
Yeah.
that's a lot of smoke coming from that. I'm a little scared for him.
Yep.
Bro, y'all are crazy. What the fuck?
And it started to rumble but still wouldn't kick. And I think my holes are the problem, or the lack of them. So I drilled some more and turned it perpendicular to the inlet and welded that in. I also fixed some of the leaking holes in the combustion chamber. And I do owe Colin an apology. I've also failed to make a self-starting pulse jet engine. You're not an idiot.
I want to see the YouTube apology video right now. Post it, and don't forget the ukulele.
We both are. I'm still convinced you're making a sex dungeon under your house, though.
It started.
I heard it.
It
I
started.
got scared. I turned it off.
Right.
Wait, what do I do when it's at that sound?
When it actually goes boom, you'll say I'll move away, leave it for like a second unless it like flies. If it starts to move, turn it
If
off.
it starts to move, I'm not going to be here, Alex.
No, if it starts to move.
You know what? That's a valid. If the fucking thing starts to move, I'm also the fuck out of there. Bro.
Whoa, that was it.
I don't like it.
It did it.
I don't like it.
Oh.
I don't like it.
You saw it move?
Yes.
And that time it sounded like it was about to go, but my housemate was too scared and kept turning it off. So I got back my mate, who doesn't care as much about our safety, and gave it another go.
Oh, I'm scared. God damn, what the fuck?
That is fucked. That is so loud. That is.
Okay. I gotta comment on this on every video. He wears ear protection and eye protection, but nothing for them grippers, bro.
I don't think you should stop running that.
Holy.
Cut it off now, Alex.
Yeah.
That's too loud.
And we only had that on for a couple of seconds, but it was still the loudest thing my poor ears and neighbors' ears have ever had come inside.
That's a
Also made me
good fucking
sick.
point. I'd hate to be his neighbor. Holy shit, dude. Fucking, can you imagine your neighbor putting together a fucking pulse jet engine right next door? You gotta hear them test that bitch. That's crazy.
For some reason. It was around 140 decibels, which is louder than a passenger plane taking off right here on my deck. And the simplicity of this is beautiful. No moving parts, just sheet metal in the shape of a trumpet with a barbecue gas bottle. There is really no reason for every man, woman, and child watching right now not to go and make one of these. They are seriously the most fun you can have.
I wouldn't want to make one, because I feel like I'd blow everybody up. That's why every man, woman, and child watching this shouldn't do it.
As a 14-year-old living in a crowded urban neighborhood. But I reckon if I ran this any longer, the cops would come and take it for themselves to play with. So I'm stopping. Alright, I don't want to continue using sparklers to ignite this thing. I want to feel more fancy and have buttons. And I could use an ignition coil to light it, but I thought it would be more fun to use a taser. And here's a hot tip
But why
for you kids.
Why a taser to ignite it? But why?
Tasers are illegal in Australia, but you can still buy them. They're just called cattle prods, which is illegal unless you have animals to prod. But in all seriousness, I'm getting chickens on the property, so I'm gonna need this. So all I did was bypass the battery.
Why do you need a cattle prod for chickens? What?
Thank you for your patronage. Zeus, thank
No,
you.
thank you for the resub, Melon. Hello, how are you?
And switch of the taser and connect it to this relay. And now when I press this button, it should work.
Yep.
And kids, once again, this is the perfect setup if you want to make a bomb. And then
Don't make bombs. That's bad.
weld it in the spark plug.
This is the great thing about being a bad welder. We can hook cables onto them. Look at that. Okay, when I press this, we should hear it go off.
Ugh.
Why do I hear gas? We should see this go off. Yes. Yes.
Alright, now if I'm sitting on the jet engine, I can turn the gas on and off. But what happens
Do not sit on the jet engine. That sounds scary.
if I fly off? Or even worse, what if my clothes fly off? Then I won't have a way to
Hell yeah, he got that thing a swangin'.
stop the jet engine from flying out of control. So I'm going to make it wireless. So I bought this solenoid and this brass fitting that precisely don't fit my gas pipe. So I just welded it.
That does not work.
And I melted the brass. So instead I cut off some hose and stuck that on the end as an adapter, which works nicely. And now I also have the world's first lockable childproof bomb.
Damn.
What's this?
What do you mean?
Alex. I thought we said you wouldn't have any more drug paraphernalia in the house.
I didn't make it.
Alex, this is in the garage.
I did
you
not.
Said you were not. Gonna
I
have
did
this in
not
here.
make this.
What do you mean?
I didn't make it. He made it.
This Is this true?
Damn.
You did it?
Blaming
did it.
somebody else.
And
Crazy.
now when I press this button, gas should come out. And this is weird. I can hear it, but I can't see it. So either there's a snake in the pipe or the guy gave me invisible gas.
Oh, me.
That seems like a very unwise decision to start this bitch in your house. That's crazy.
Okay, the ignition works well. And after pissing off everyone in the neighborhood with the noise of this thing, you'd think I'd stop here. But no, I want to be in a Neighbors from Hell episode. So I'm going to make a thrust augmenter. And it's a funnel thing that goes on either one of the exhausts, and for some reason it's meant to add more thrust. But again, it's one of those things in the rocket world where people say it works, but no one can tell me how. Like if this actually worked, surely I could just stack another augmenter on this one, and then another, and another, and another, and get ever increasing thrust. So let's give it a go, but this time not in the suburbs.
On the back of your car is crazy. Get it off the truck.
Alright, the self-ignition doesn't work, and I can't get it to start with the augmenter, as it's in the way of the blower. So I just cut it off, then gave that a go, which still didn't work. But then I realized it was because I
Oh,
was
that's
out
so sad. All that work for the thrust augmenter to just cut it off. That's sad.
of gas.
Effing
So
chat.
I cut off the augmenter for no reason. And after getting a new bottle, we gave it another go.
Oh, and then he cut it off for no reason. Damn.
And I have heard whispers on the internet that if I tip the gas bottle upside down, something magical will happen.
No. Dude, this dude does not value his life.
And that liquid propane really makes it sound angry, and seems like it increases the thrust. Doing it at night seemed to help the thrust as well.
That was still on. I didn't realize I didn't turn it off.
Oh my god, they didn't turn it off. That's crazy. Oh my god, it's glowing red. Oh, that's crazy, dude. You're gonna melt your truck.
Now, it's time to move the pulse jet to the top of the hill.
Okay, just do not hit a tree, otherwise your head is gone.
Alright, now to work out the swing. And this can't be like your mum's sex swing. I need it to not fall apart under my weight. And originally I wanted to build two A-frames and have the swing on that, but I don't trust my welding enough. So I'm going to use God's A-frames, trees, which are super strong and
And if you guys read a news story next week about how at some point in the last few months that there was a crazy wildfire in this section of Australia, you know why.
don't fall over. And these two are in the perfect position with a clearing on this side and on the other side a nice bushy cliff covered in dry grass. So I got this pipe which has walls 3 mil thick and secured it in place with these bearings, which I definitely remembered to put on the pipe the first time. And I don't know if these bearings are strong enough, but I also don't care. Then I just welded some arms on the top of the engine with support running to the frame, which is made out of steel, as I've heard it's good at holding up against jet fuel.
Do you guys think that if you sat on this, like actually sat on it, you would burn your butthole from how hot it's gonna get?
And the reason I need the extra support is if I just secure it on the top like this, I'm sure that spinning jet engine will just peel itself apart. So instead I have the arms running to the frame and then the frame running all the way to the bottom. Then also just reinforced all the welds while also making sure I keep the camera in a way where it doesn't reveal the location of my property to any of you freaks. Alright, now to see if it fits, which it does if I leave my car here, but now I'm stuck.
So what are we going to do? Deflate the tires.
Deflate the
Let's go.
tires.
We're free.
And if I just tried to run it like this,
I love that. I love that he said earlier in the video that it was a little off center and you get off balance. You could see it because you could. I believe it now because you can see it rocking. Oh my
I
god,
don't
words.
think it would do 360s, as it would probably just get to like 45 degrees and then just stop. So originally I thought I could get like 5 meters of spear gun rubber and slingshot it to start it off. But then I realized I should just copy what I did in my intro and put a counterweight on top so it really wants to spin.
That's a genius move,
Like
you know?
leverage when you lift your arms out.
Maybe if I go like.
And if you guys have never experienced having a steel pole in between your cheeks while also holding 20 kilos above your head,
And just like that, just like that, just like
Definitely.
that, he broke his asshole. Oh my god.
you have to try it. It's a fantastic feeling. When I got down though, we realized we could have just rotated the jet to put the weights on. Also, I realized another thing about the spinning I didn't consider. When the jet engine is upside down, it's going to run on liquid propane. So it'll be cycling between liquid and gas, giving it a lot more thrust, but will also put a lot of stress on the solenoid, which is not meant to run on cold liquid propane, which means it could blow up or get stuck in the open position, which is why I got rid of the Chinese solenoid and switched it with this beefy.
Do you think he had the fire department on handy? Like, do you think he had the fire department, like, on call for this just because? You know, bro probably can't get life
And if being
insurance,
Chinese
probably.
has nothing to do with it, this one just has a bigger hole. Then I just bolted on a chair for me to sit on and
What
put the
the
electronics
fuck?
in a box.
Pause. What was drawn on that
There's a
mannequin's
bigger
neck?
hole. Then I just bolted
That's so creepy. Hold on.
it on a chair for me
That's so creepy. Look at it. That's creepy as fuck, bro.
to sit on and put the electronics in a box. And it's done. And after a visit to the car park of an event cinema movie theater, I should have enough fire extinguishers to do the first test. But just to be sure we don't burn everything down, we also stole the neighbor's generator and made a firefighting setup. And there's nothing left but to do it. And this is probably the
Okay,
most
he was
scared
cautious,
I've
I'll give him
ever
that.
been before turning on one of my dumb devices.
So what's our plan? Our plan is do it, and we're both running, just and hiding behind that tree.
Yeah, behind that tree there.
And it wouldn't start, even though nothing has changed since we did the other tests. So we tried different sized gas bottles, thinking that that could have been the issue. And we also tried moving the bottle position around.
Fire in the hole!
God damn, that was scary, dude. What the fuck?
Why did that happen?
Almost.
And even though we got it started once, it wouldn't stay on. So we tried a couple more times.
Ooh.
I don't know, is this a good idea?
But then called it a night. And decided to try again in the morning.
I mean, it's kinda
with a
work-
plan.
It's kind of working there. It's kind of working.
So in the morning we got up and went to a car dealership and installed a TV for them.
We did a much better job at this than the jet engine. First go. Of course, yeah.
Then once we had done that, we tried the jet engine again.
That was the most random fucking side quest I've ever seen. What do you... What?
Why?
Which still wouldn't work. But then we realized that the solenoid was probably the problem. As you know how earlier I said that nothing had changed from our stationary test before? One thing did, the length of this hose, which doesn't seem like it would make a difference, but because it's shorter now, there might be less resistance on the solenoid and the gas can pass through easier. So we did something you're definitely not meant to do and put a kink in the gas pipe, which
Oh.
will hopefully build up more pressure and force the solenoid to open all the way.
It's gonna blow up. I'm really scared it's gonna blow up. Do you guys think the back of that mannequin's neck is gonna melt to the pipe because of how hot it's gonna get?
And that was the best so far, but I want it to spin for as long as we tell it to. So we crimped the hose a little harder and gave it another go.
Oh, goddamn. I mean, it worked. Props to him, he did it. I would not be
And
getting
that
close
worked
to that.
so much better than I could have ever hoped. Nothing broke, blew up, or got burnt, and it spun continuously until we switched it off. So we tried again, but this time with the bottle fully tilted so it runs on liquid for longer.
Am I Mr.
Sparkle,
Sparkler?
sparkle. That's been the magic touch, so
Yep.
let's keep with it.
Ugh. Oh my god. That seems like a death trap. Holy shit.
And that was significantly louder and faster than the others, but it still wasn't running on liquid the whole time. You could hear it going on and off, and I think it's because it's spinning, the liquid is getting pulled to the bottom edge like water in a bucket and not coming out. So we waited till night and decided to try a new tank with more liquid propane in it and give that a go.
Jacob, you would not ride that for a chicken sandwich. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it's off.
No, it was spraying liquid propane onto you. Get away from it, get away from it.
And we almost set ourselves on fire, so we tried again with the bottle at 45 degrees. And then we almost blew the jet engine up.
Jesus Christ.
So we tried one last time before finally getting the shot I wanted, and also letting you hear the drop of this song.
That's crazy work. Oh my god. You can see flashes of the pipe getting hot. Oh, yeah, it's red hot.
That was epic.
That was dangerous.
That initial burst, it almost stopped and there was...
And this is by far the best thing I've ever made and most fun I've ever had filming a video. But there's also zero chance I'm ever gonna sit on this thing. Go make a pulse jet, kids, and do it yourself.
Kids, do not make a pulse jet and do not do it yourself.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos.
Hell yeah. Ooh, I skipped back in the video. Thank you guys for joining me. If you'd
There
like...
you go. So there.
Thank you guys for joining me. If you like content like this, please feel free to like, comment. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have this video linked in the description below. If you'd like to join us, please feel free to join us at twitch.tv/simplyazura. I forgot to say that in my intro. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.